Hello one and all, and welcome to Gaming with Tom. I am Tom and this is Infamous Second Son. Specifically the review of Infamous Second Son. Now before I get into the main body of the review, I'm just going to say this video may have a few small spoilers, and that I may mention the beginning of the game and beginning characters and the mechanics of the powers. But I'm not going to do any big spoilers. I'm not going to mention the end game or characters introduced later on in the game, and I'm not going to. I'm only going to be talking about the first power. Now, if you don't want any spoilers into the game whatsoever, I give you 5 seconds to leave, 4 seconds to leave, 3 seconds to leave, 2 seconds to leave, 1 second to leave. Are you good? Good. Are you gone? Good. Okay. Now, to those of you left, this is Infamous Second Son. Basic opinions of this game are that I think it's very fun. It's a very good game. I think that there's a fair bit of replayability to it due to the good and bad karma side of the game. But I find the story a little bit lacking, and specifically the reasons behind actions done in the story. What I mean by that is, whilst I find the characters very good, and that the voice actors are absolutely amazing, and the interactions between characters, specifically the main character Delson and his brother, is absolutely great. The interactions I find just great on all levels. But the story is a little bit bland, though it's still good. The main problem I have with the game is that there's no real reason for half of the story. So you can do either a good karma run through where you subdue as many people as possible without killing them and are generally a good guy, or you can do a bad karma run through where you just go around exploding everybody and killing everything in sight. Now, there's no real reason for the bad karma way of doing things. The game doesn't really give you a reason why you would be doing it, and the story doesn't really cope with you doing it. It just sort of acknowledges you, but never really gives you a reason why you would want to be just killing everybody. Because the character is generally quite a good person, and in all the cutscenes, even if you're trying to be a bad person, is still saying he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He wants to show that the super people are good people, but he's just gone around killing everybody in sight. But still, if you don't really pay attention to that, it's still a lot of fun and a great laugh to go around blowing everybody up. And if you play on the good side of things, the game's very, very good. And there's reasons behind what you're doing, and generally flawless other than a slightly bland story. But I'm going to now get into the mechanics of the game, and specifically the powers, in that I find the powers are a little bit limited in variation. In that the powers all have some things that they do completely, they all do. For example, all the powers will do this, which is like a boost forward, and the powers, it'll either be like this, which is a point A to point B teleport type thing, or just like a very fast run. But they all do that. They all do this, which is just a little projectile, and some of them do it faster, some of them do it slower, but nonetheless they all do this. Hello there, Mr. Shard. But they all do the projectile. They all do the projectile launching. They all do this, which is like a little bomb. One of the powers does it slightly differently, but still they all have that sort of bomb type secondary power. And they all have this, which is a big missile, and that does a load of damage which you can use for taking out vehicles, that sort of thing. Hello, bird. And that's the problem. They all do this, but they don't have any that do anything particularly different. I mean, other than the smoke, which does do a couple of things different, and none of the other powers sort of make up for it in any way. I'll show this off by if you get onto a car, and I mean stand on the car, and press the jump button, you do a boosted jump. That only exists in the smoke power. That doesn't exist in any form anywhere else. And they don't really make up for it in any way other than in the smoke power. They don't have any trade-off in the others, so it just ends up a reason. It just ends up a reason why to use nothing really other than smoke. Also, the smoke power has this ability, which if you use a dash power, you can dash through vents, which gets you to the top of buildings, and you can also dash through gates. Again, the other powers don't have any other version of this. They have nothing making up for it, they just don't include it. And most importantly, I think, is this ability. If you hold down the fire, you do like a boosted attack, which does more damage and tends to knock them over. So you can either just kick them straight away, or just like it's a much more boosted attack. For example, if I can find another goon, I'll show off the sort of normal attack. Look, here's one. This is the normal equivalent, and it's not really doing much. And if you just hold down the same button, it does a boosted thing. And this is very good, and it's very useful. But none of the other powers do this. They just don't have it. Which I don't really like. I mean, other powers do some things that are slightly different, but they're very small things like slowing down time when you aim and stuff like that, other than the smoke, which is just 3 completely different things that just aren't replaced. But you can sort of understand that you just end up using smoke a lot more than you would normally. But I'm going to go on to the karma system. In the karma, you either have moments in the game which will be just a choice, A or B, good karma or bad karma, and it'll be kill this person, save this person, turn this person evil, turn this person good. Or you have in-game options where, for example, if someone surrenders, you have a subdue option, which will get you good karma, or a melee option, which will get you bad karma. I'm going to subdue him, because I'm playing the good karma at the moment. And a lot of people don't like this system. I think it's quite a good system in that during gameplay you have to actually play along to the good karma, but you also get a choice. But again, there's no real reason why you would go bad karma, or go the other way once you've started. At the very beginning of the game you make a choice, good or bad, and considering you have to get more and more levels of good or bad karma to unlock different abilities, there's no reason why you would decide to suddenly make a bad option, considering it wouldn't move your karma down back. It wouldn't just change your karma, it would only lessen your good karma. So there's no real point why you would change it, but I kind of like the choice. It's quite good. As a choice system, it's not bad. But as I was saying, with the powers, upgrading powers, I will show you if you go into the menu. And this is the upgrading, and I think it's quite good in that there are certain things here where you have to have certain, like blue here, you have to have certain karma levels. Here requires evil karma, requires evil karma, requires evil karma, and so you have different powers that are good karma only, powers that are bad karma only, and you all need little shards, which were the things you saw me absorbing a little while ago. And you need a certain amount of them to upgrade. See, this upgrade costs 4 shards, I have 8. I'm not going to do it at the moment because, well, it'd be dull for you. And you have all the different types of powers here and all different upgrade chains. And I quite like the system. It encourages you to go out to the world. Because with a lot of open world games like this, where there's not particularly much in the open world, there's no real reason to go and explore. But the shards allow you to go out and collect the shards to get more powerful to like boss fights. I'm just going to show you off now with this the missile, the big blasty missile. 2 of them. I said 2 of them. Okay, 2 of them, and hitting it will take out the big vans, and then you get different types of people which appear later on. And excuse me, you were surrendering a second ago. You should have carried on. And you have different types of people, so you have basic drones, you have more sort of big armory guys, and you have the guy you just saw who has the ability to sort of dodge and nip around, which encourages different ways of playing. You can't just run in and beat everybody, because the heavy guys will mess you over, and you can't just go in throwing as much missiles in as you can, because the wizardy type guys will just dodge out the way. So the enemies are not massive. You don't have to learn the specific attack patterns of certain enemies to be able to be good at the game. There's just these three, and you can learn different attack patterns, especially in the bases. It works out really well because you'll get the ground layer tends to have really basic people. The middle layer tends to have the sort of armored people, and the top layer will have a bigger mix. So you have to decide, do I take out the hardest layer first and then just brush through the easy layer? Do I take out the bottom layer first? How do I take out the middle layer? And I really quite like this system. And it's quite nice. It's quite nice because, as I said, you don't have to end up learning every attack pattern of hundreds of different enemies to be able to form a strategy. You just have the three that they introduce very nice. In that there's like the wizardy character I mentioned. You just fight, and it's like it's set up like a boss battle in that it's very easy to take him down because he's really the only big difficult enemy there. But it teaches you what the character's like, what its moves are, and how to take it down. And they do that with the heavy characters as well, though to a slightly lesser extent. But again, I really like that system. It's quite a nice system, and that's a thing that's common with this game. Is very good little systems. In the, as I was saying with the good and bad karma thing, here's another situation where you get a choice between heal this person or execute this person. So again, if you want to get your karma level higher, you have to run round the map to just get a few extra people, because it does boost up your karma level quite a bit. Mine is at the full good karma, which is why you're not seeing it go up. With the amount of good karma actions I've done so far, I probably would have gained about half a level, maybe. So it's quite good. It's good with the there's a lot of points in this game where you have to go out and play the game. But one of the main criticisms I have with this game, that really is a main criticism, in that playing good karma isn't very difficult. Normally in games with a good karma, bad karma system, you have, the good karma is really difficult. You have to really work for it, make your shots absolutely perfect, to pull off a good karma takedown. But in this, it's really quite easy. In that I'll show you with this group of people here. And if I fling, where's a bunch of them together? If I fling the bomb I mentioned earlier, they'll all get stunned, and I can just zip round. Ah, damn it, you weren't bad guys, were you? Fling a bomb, that'll stun him, and I can just zip round and knock them out. And it's really quite easy. It's not very difficult to do the bad karma. It's just very easy, and I don't like that. And also there's an ability with the smoke which allows you to, if you get headshots with it, it instantly knocks them out. So it just means you have to throw a couple of shots in, and it'll probably, well, that one wasn't, but it'll probably be a good karma takedown. And again, I really like that system. Well, no, sorry, no, I don't like that system. I'm not sure why I said that, but I don't like that system. It's very easy. Smoke is a particularly good one to show off because you just throw it in, especially if they're clumped together. These people weren't particularly, but especially if they're clumped together, it's very easy to just, throw in a bomb, everybody gets stunned, and just take everybody out, and that's the people taken care of with a load of good karma. And it's really not very difficult, and if I had done this game I would have made it very difficult to say good karma, because I like that system of having to work to keep good karma in you constantly. If you just run in, you'll end up killing a load of people, So in this, it's very, very easy, and I don't really like that system. I would have it being difficult. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you guys is what amounts to basically a super attack, which will, if you've been watching carefully, you'll notice at the corner of my screen, a little blue bomb has been filling up with every good karma action I've been doing. And this basically, if you do enough good karma actions, is a big karma-y explosion, which I will show you now. Ooh, do you think this will get him? This is apparently a good karma action. Anyway, this is the last power. All of the powers have this, and they all they're all slightly different. And keep away from those policemen. They're all slightly different with each power, but they all amount to a big explosion, which, if your bad karma, will just kill everyone. Your good karma tends to subdue everyone. So that's the last main power, and that is the ending of my. This is the ending of my infamous Second Son review. Final thoughts. Very good game. I would recommend it. Just if you're into games that are lots of story and just driven entirely by an excellent story, you won't really enjoy this. But if you enjoy a game that just has an absolutely brilliant gameplay and a hell of a lot of fun to it, you definitely will. So that's it from me. That was Gaming with Tom. This was Infamous Second Son. Please comment, like and subscribe, and goodbye.